Maximum tension. A surprise attack on the most powerful United States aircraft carrier. The Red Sea, a vital waterway connecting Asia and Europe, witnessed a brazen act of aggression. Houthi forces, a militant group operating from Yemen, claimed responsibility for a sophisticated attack against a formidable symbol of American naval power, the USS Abraham Lincoln. The attack, if true, would represent a significant escalation in the ongoing Yemeni conflict. The Houthis claim to have attacked not only the aircraft carrier, but also two accompanying American destroyers. This incident has sent shockwaves through the region and beyond, raising concerns about the growing capabilities of non-state actors. The attack, as described by the Houthis, involved a coordinated barrage of cruise missiles and armed drones. These weapon systems, once the exclusive domain of nation-states, are increasingly finding their way into the arsenals of militant groups. The Houthis' ability to deploy such advanced weaponry raises alarming questions about the proliferation of sophisticated arms. The attack, if independently verified, would underscore the changing nature of warfare, where non-state actors can pose significant threats even to the world's most powerful militaries. The Houthis, far from being a disorganized militia, have demonstrated a remarkable capacity for adaptation and military innovation. Their arsenal, though seemingly rudimentary compared to a superpower like the United States, has proven surprisingly effective in exploiting vulnerabilities. Their tactics, often asymmetric in nature, focus on exploiting weaknesses and maximizing impact with limited resources. The Houthis have become adept at leveraging unconventional warfare techniques, posing a unique challenge to conventional military forces. Their arsenal includes a range of weapon systems, from simple improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, to sophisticated anti-ship missiles. They have employed naval mines with devastating effect, targeting commercial vessels and disrupting maritime traffic. Their use of small, fast attack boats poses a constant threat to warships operating in the confined waters of the Red Sea. The Houthis' ability to adapt and innovate, coupled with their strategic use of the maritime domain, makes them a formidable adversary. The spectre of Iranian involvement looms large over the Houthi conflict. Iran, a regional power with a history of supporting allied groups, has been accused of providing material support to the Houthis. The United States and its allies have presented evidence suggesting that Iran has supplied the Houthis with advanced weaponry, including missiles and drones. Iran denies these accusations, claiming that its relationship with the Houthis is purely political and diplomatic. The extent of Iran's involvement remains a subject of debate. However, there is little doubt that Iran sees the Houthi conflict as an opportunity to further its strategic interests in the region. By supporting the Houthis, Iran can exert pressure on Saudi Arabia, its regional rival, and project power far beyond its borders. The Houthi conflict, therefore, has become a proxy war, with Iran and Saudi Arabia vying for influence in Yemen. The Houthi attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln, if true, represents a dangerous escalation that could have far-reaching geopolitical implications. The Red Sea, a vital artery for global trade, is already a volatile region. The presence of international naval forces, including those of the United States, has long been a stabilizing factor in the region. However, the Houthis' ability to strike such a high-value target could undermine confidence in the ability of these forces to ensure maritime security. The attack also highlights the complex web of alliances and rivalries that define the Middle East. The Houthi conflict, while rooted in Yemen's internal divisions, has become a battleground for regional powers seeking to assert their dominance. Iran's alleged support for the Houthis is seen as a direct challenge to Saudi Arabia and its allies. The conflict has also drawn in other global players, such as Russia and China, who see an opportunity to advance their own interests in the region. A blow to American prestige? The alleged attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln, if true, would be a symbolic blow to American military prestige. The United States has long prided itself on its naval dominance. Its aircraft carriers, floating fortresses capable of projecting power around the world, are seen as symbols of American strength and resolve. An attack on one of these vessels, even if unsuccessful, would be a propaganda victory for the Houthis and their backers. The incident would inevitably lead to calls for a reassessment of US naval strategy. The United States might be compelled to reconsider its posture in the region, potentially increasing its military presence in the Red Sea. This, in turn, could further escalate tensions with Iran and its allies. The attack, therefore, has the potential to trigger a chain of events with unpredictable consequences. The fog of war, propaganda and disinformation. In the chaotic aftermath of the alleged attack, discerning truth from propaganda becomes paramount. The Houthis, eager to exploit the incident for their own political ends, have every incentive to exaggerate their capabilities and the extent of the damage they inflicted. Conversely, the United States, seeking to downplay the significance of the attack, may be reluctant to release information that could be perceived as damaging to its image. The lack of independent verification makes it difficult to assess the credibility of the conflicting claims. Without access to reliable information, it is impossible to determine the veracity of the Houthi claims or the extent of any damage inflicted on the US warships. This information vacuum creates fertile ground for the spread of rumors, speculation, and deliberate disinformation, further muddying the waters. Countering the Houthi threat. The alleged attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln, regardless of its veracity, underscores the urgent need for a comprehensive strategy to counter the Houthi threat. Military force alone is unlikely to be sufficient. A sustainable solution requires addressing the root causes of the conflict, including political instability, economic woes, and Yemen's humanitarian crisis. Strengthening the capabilities of regional partners is crucial. The United States and its allies must continue to provide training, equipment, and intelligence sharing to bolster the defenses of Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states. At the same time, diplomatic efforts must focus on finding a political solution to the Yemeni conflict, one that addresses the legitimate grievances of all parties involved. The future of the conflict. The alleged attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln, if true, could mark a turning point in the Yemeni conflict. It highlights the growing capabilities of non-state actors and the challenges they pose to traditional notions of warfare. The incident also underscores the volatility of the Red Sea region and the potential for miscalculation. The future of the conflict remains uncertain. The Houthis, emboldened by their alleged success, might be tempted to engage in further provocations. The United States, for its part, must weigh its options carefully. A measured response is essential to avoid further escalation. However, inaction could be interpreted as weakness, emboldening the Houthis and their backers. Navigating uncertainty in a volatile region. The alleged Houthi attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln serves as a stark reminder of the complex and unpredictable nature of the Middle East. In an environment where information is often weaponized, it is crucial to proceed with caution and avoid rushing to judgment. The incident highlights the need for a nuanced understanding of the conflict and its underlying dynamics. The way forward requires a multifaceted approach that combines diplomacy, military deterrence, and a commitment to addressing the root causes of the conflict. The international community must work together to find a sustainable solution that ends the violence and alleviates the suffering of the Yemeni people.